Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Gonna do a little bit of a different topic. Well, I try to do different topics in every video that I do. I want to talk about cheating. What makes a person want to cheat? Now let's think about this, because there's many different reasons why this happens. Okay? You see people that's been together for 20, 30 years. No one ever cheated in the relationship. And all of a sudden, it happens. And all your friends are like, whoa, you? Like really surprised, because you guys have been together so long and it's been so good. You know, you always see and you're happy together and everything's going great. You know, or you can be in a relationship with somebody for 1 year, 2 years, and they cheat. But the question is, why does this happen? Most of the time, somebody's just been with you so long and they just get unhappy and you guys quit working on the relationship and there's no communication happening, and when there is communication, there's hostility that's been building up for years, and the next thing you know, somebody cheats. You know? Or somebody can just cheat because they see a pretty girl and they just get lust in their eyes and they want to go for it. You know, it's some people, a new body, to feel someone new, just really makes some people just want to cheat for no reason but that. It can be as simple as just wanting to touch something new, be with someone new. You know, what you want to try to do to avoid that is try to always have communication with your mate. Always sit down and talk. Try to figure out what's wrong. Try to work with them on it. Now that what I just said is not an easy thing to do. None of it's easy. Relationships are hard. Ain't nothing easy about them. You know, you can love somebody. They can love you. But love only goes in a relationship so far. Then there's work to keep it strong. You gotta work. You gotta compromise to an extent, you know, because everybody's a little bit different. You know, even soulmates. I found my soulmate. You guys can still have differences and things that you gotta work out with each other. But one of the main keys, I feel, my opinion, is communication. Because if we don't have communication, then how do we know what's going on with our mate? Do they need support at this moment? Are they going through something maybe you don't know about, or maybe they've just briefly talked about it and they're not communicating with you either, so nobody knows what's happening? You know, when I lay in my bed with my girl, sometimes I talk about things. I want to talk about stuff, but I'm not totally exhausted. You know, I like to talk, see what's happening in her life. Or when I see her and I can kind of see she's upset, I'll say, hey, what's bothering you? And then we'll start talking and we'll try to work it out. Ain't always easy. Sometimes the problem is you. And when it's you, that's when it's really tough, because then you got to also keep your emotions in check. Because losing your temper and acting a fool ain't going to help the situation. Matter of fact, it's going to damage it. And it ain't easy to keep your cool sometimes. So, caring about who you're with enough to take the time out to see how they're doing. Really. I mean, how are you doing? Are you happy in the relationship? Are things going good enough to where you don't have an issue with me, at least? You know, stuff like that you gotta ask them. You know? If you find yourself looking at other women and you're kind of looking at them like you might want to do something or make a move, then there's obviously a problem going on. If it ain't with your mate, then maybe it's within yourself. You need to figure it out. If you really care about that person and you want to be with them, you know, you got to ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? You know, men, we look at women, some of us, and some of us don't, okay, I'm just saying, like cars. You see a beautiful car with curves all over it and a nice shiny paint job, and you're like, damn, you know. And then you look over at your mate and she ain't been taking care of herself and she gained a little bit of weight and you're looking at that hot little mama over there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing bad about saying, hey baby, let's go to the gym, let's work out. Don't insult her. Don't insult him. You know? Do it with them. Support them. Say, hey man, you know, let's go work out. If that's your problem, if you just don't like the way that they're starting to look and you kind of find yourself looking elsewhere, you know, then you need to fix it. You know, doing stuff with your mate, having that time together, maybe working out or walking at a park and doing those things together, you would be surprised how fast you can mend scars. Just having something to do with them. Being there for them. Supporting them. You guys can be having problems for 3 or 4 years, but if you both just stopped and said, hey baby, let's go walk for a while and talk. And don't try to talk in such a way that you're going to lead it into an argument, because that can happen really easy when you're messing with stuff like this. You need to be delicate. You need to think it through before you open your mouth. Instead of pointing fingers, give them a hug. Be there for them. You know, you can go through life fighting. I've had some bad relationships. They had good times, they had bad times. And I didn't have the knowledge then that I have now to work it out, to take the time out to be there for them, listen to them, be the man that I needed to be for them at that time. You know, I think we all kind of go through that. We learn as we get older, we learn more, and we're a little bit more equipped with experience. But if you see she's got a problem and you come at her aggressively and you know, you got a problem, and then you guys all of a sudden are fighting over, you know, most of the time in marriages, let's face it, it's financial. We don't have a good car. We need a bigger house, you know. You're out messing around spending all the money, you're getting this big money fight. Then you need to sit down with your mate if that's what's happening and say, let's quit fighting. Let's manage our money. Let's get a, what do you call it? Manage your money. You know, a budget. That's what I was trying to think of. You know, you get a budget and sit down with them and say, look, you can have this much, I can have this much, and this all goes on the bills. And you need to quit being selfish and greedy in the relationship, because you're with that person now. You got to work them financial things out with them. You know, and one person can't save the relationship. It don't work like that. It takes both people working together, solving problems as a team. You know, if she's out working 16 hours a day and you're working 16 hours a day, your kids are in school and hardly anybody ever sees each other, well, when you do see each other, man, take that time to discuss and talk. And if you really love that person, you might need to make a career change. You might need to do something drastic. It really depends on how much you love them, how much you're willing to sacrifice for them to have a better life with them. You do what you got to do to save your marriage. You know, you guys ain't got enough time together, then fix it. Figure it out. You know? Because when, you know, my wife that I have right now means more to me than anything else. I would sacrifice anything I have. I would do whatever it took to make sure that I was there for her. I love her. She loves me. And there's nothing I wouldn't do. Okay? That's how you should feel about your wife or your husband. I will do anything to fix this. You know? If your mate cheats on you, and it actually does happen, and I'm going to talk to you from experience in this one, and you take them back, then, well, I'm not going to say no names, but I was with this young lady at the time. She cheated on me. We went to the skating ring, you know, I was trying to, you know, fix things. And we were sitting in the middle of the skating ring, and she looks up at me and she says, oh, I'll never do it again. And my heart went back to her. I felt my heart and my love go back to her. I really, really believed her. About 2 or 3 years later, she did it to me again. And at that time in my life, I didn't have the experience to figure out why. I had a hot temper, quick to jump. I couldn't fix it. I didn't know how. I don't even know if I could have fixed it. But what I'm saying here is if you give them another chance, you got to remember something. You're putting your neck back on the chopping block. That's what you got to remember. Some people won't tolerate it. Some people say no chance. But if you love that person enough, and you really want to try to work it out, if you want to take that chance, you can do it. It can be resolved. You can fix it. Both of you can fix it. It takes both of you to fix it. Okay? The key, though, is to not ever get there. And if you always have that communication going on, and you're trying to give them what they're asking for as best as you can. I mean, you can't give them irresistical stuff. You can't do that. Some people want that. It's like, what in the world? No cure for you. Just gimme. It doesn't work like that, man. It has to be reasonable. Sometimes you'll realize once you start communicating with that person, unfortunately, you'll realize they're not a match for me when you really start talking to them. Oh, she's so pretty, I'm going to be whatever she wants me to be. That's how it starts. When instead of you should have been real with her, or she should have been real with you. Because how are you going to be happy if you have to fake who you are just so you can snag that person? Because it's going to wear off. And then you're going to find yourself, oh my goodness, here you're 4 years in a relationship with a kid. And either he messed up and didn't act like he was supposed to, or you messed up. Trying to act like something you wasn't. That's why you want to be real right then, because as the relationship evolves, you're going to find something out. You're going to find out who they are, 100%. Even if they act like they was somebody else in the start, and they could, people can do this for years when you're getting to know them. Oh, I want to take my time and be so careful, and so you do, and you do everything right, and you can still end up with a narcissist, cheater, or whatever. You can still end up with it, no matter how careful you are. But the smarter and the more educated you are, as far as narcissism goes, as far as just a really rotten, no good person, you start to get to see the signs. And once you can recognize those signs and those red flags, you have a better chance of avoiding something like that. I mean, look how many women and men are in the world. You don't just have to put your eye on one and settle right there until you actually find the one that you're ready to settle with. Get to know people. Take your time. That's something I've always been bad at. I don't take my time before I get with somebody to really look at the situation. That's still something I'm working on. But I think I got lucky this time. I think I really found the one that I really want to be with. Matter of fact, I know I have. I've never been this happy in all of my life. I've been through some ringers, man. And I'm not saying anything bad about my mates, man. We just weren't compatible. The other girls that I've been with, things we just didn't fit. Didn't get to know each other first. And that's what happens. That's what I'm sitting here telling you now. There ain't nothing we can do about it except for learn when you make a mistake like that. I did I helped raise a couple of beautiful girls. Real proud of them. I mean, they are something else, man. Every time I see them accomplish something awesome, I'm proud. I got a beautiful daughter from my first wife. Proud of her. She's doing a good job in her life, too. I got a son that I haven't seen in years, but I love him. I'm proud of him anyway. These are the things that you cherish, your children. I got a little boy right now that means the world to me. He's my little buddy. He's a cute little guy. Love him to death. all we're really looking for is somebody to care about us and love us. If you're honest and you really do want what you should be wanting, you know. People look for money and people look for all these things in relationships. They're not ready for a relationship. They're not ready for a marriage. If you're trying to get with somebody because they got money, or you're trying to get with somebody because they can support you real good, that ain't the right reasons. Those are qualities, you know. Just hit my camera. Those are qualities, yes, and they're good qualities to have, you know. But if your sole purpose is that money and a better life and this and that and the other financially, you're not ready. Those are the things you should do for yourself. If you're looking for that, do it for yourself so you don't lose it. When it comes to a relationship and a marriage, you should be looking for qualities like, is he going to be a good dad to my kids? Is he going to be good to me? Is he not going to go and drink and come home and beat us all up? Is he a good man? And would he be faithful to me? Is he faithful? Is he honest? Is he actually good to me? Does he put me in front of his friends? These are the qualities that you should be looking for. Am I going to be number one in his life or her life? Anyway, just some tips. Like I said, I'm not no guru. I have no license and none of stuff. But I have real-time experience, man. Been there, been through a lot in my life, you know. And I got a lot more to go through, I'm quite sure. But, alright, man. Peace out. Everybody have a good night. I'll try to do a video a day on different topics. Alright, have a good one. All these mouses.